Do you lose your shit? How often do you actually lose it? Does it seem like you're losing it nearly every single day, or is it really infrequent? In today's video, I am sharing 7 strategies to help prevent you from losing your shit. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome back. My name is Dom, and I help people to step into their truth and power. Can I be honest with you for just a moment? I recently had an experience of moving my kids and I from Android smartphone to an iPhone, as well as buying my younger son his first phone, which was also an iPhone. The conversion from one to the other was one of the most painful experiences I think I've ever had. That week that I converted from one to the other, I was in a chat or on the phone with the company for countless hours to get everything working right. Were there moments where I felt like losing my shit? Yeah, you sure bet there were. People weren't doing their freaking jobs. Escalations weren't being escalated, and problems kept compounding. And at one point, in the moment, it would have felt so good to just go off on the person that I was working with on the phone or in the chat. And at one point, not so long ago in my life, that's exactly what I would have done. And in that experience, I likely would have compounded the problem I was experiencing even further. Instead of losing my shit on people or even on myself, I'm finding that I get better results when I approach my frustration and disappointment from a more strategic position that doesn't involve going off, but empowers them and myself to actually become more curious and want to help the situation come to a conclusion. But in order to get there, I have to be able to self-regulate my thoughts and my feelings so that I'm not going off on the moment on people. So what do I do to enable myself not to go off? That's what I'm sharing today in 7 strategies that will help prevent you from losing your shit. I actually find that one of the most impressive signs of a truly evolved and self-aware adult is the ability to self-regulate. This refers to the ability to make intelligent decisions regarding your thoughts, your words, and your actions, regardless of how stressful a situation becomes. It's the ability to avoid acting on poor impulses or raw emotion. People who self-regulate well are less likely to have tumultuous lives. They're less likely to overeat, they're less likely to overspend, and they are less likely to make regretful short-term decisions. Those with self-regulation skills also have better control over their thoughts and their emotions. So if having more control over your situations and your experiences sounds attractive to you, practicing these 7 strategies to prevent losing your shit will help you. So the first thing is, avoid substances that are irritating or disorienting. The more natural your body state, the easier it is for you to regulate your actions and emotions. Things that alter your physiology or your consciousness create unnecessary challenges. Some common things to avoid here are alcohol, drugs, sugar, caffeine, foods, any kind of foods that really irritate your body in any way or change your state of being. And note how you feel before and after you eat or consume something. Consider eliminating those foods or drinks that have a negative impact or alter your mood, your energy levels, or your perception. The second thing is exercise. Exercise is fantastic for self-regulation for a variety of reasons, and consistently following an exercise routine creates discipline. This helps actually eliminate the stress. It gets that out of your nervous system. It reduces the stress, and it actually makes it easier to self-regulate. And when we finish exercising, it enhances our mood and our well-being. We just feel better. So this is really useful for self-regulation. The next thing is sleep. It's harder to manage yourself effectively if you're always feeling tired and not getting enough sleep. I know for myself, when I don't get enough sleep, it's very easy to wake up with my cranky pants on. Energy and alertness will give you better control over your thoughts and behavior. Most people find that the optimum amount of sleep is somewhere between 7 and 9 hours. So experiment and really see what works best for you. The next thing is set goals. Goals provide a framework for making decisions. So when you're faced with multiple options, you can ask yourself how each of those choices will affect your ability to accomplish your goals. Without goals, it is much harder to actually make a decision. So it's also harder to self-regulate yourself as well. It's kind of funny how they go hand in hand like that. The next thing is have standards. Having standards for yourself has a similar effect as having goals. Setting standards for yourself is a powerful way of limiting and regulating your behavior. Standards are similar to values. So if you know your values, it's pretty easy to develop your standards. If you've never thought about your values, really now is a great time to do that. And begin making a list of your values and then develop some standards around them for yourself. For example, if your health is a primary value for you, a standard that might be related to that might be the value of not eating foods that contain added sugars or chemical sweeteners. If you don't eat foods with added sugar or fake sweeteners, you are regulating your behavior. The next thing is monitor. Constantly monitor your mood and your thoughts. And when you drift away from your normal, you'll be able to catch yourself quickly, and you'll be able to subdue it before it gets out of hand. And the same goes for your behavior. Monitor your behavior. If you're doing things that you normally wouldn't do, such as yelling at someone or arguing with people more often, or you're just feeling stressed more often, get really curious and ask yourself, what is going on? What is it that you're wanting more of or less of that is causing you to feel this way and do these things? The next thing is mindfulness. Keeping your mind in the present and on the task before you is one form of self-regulation. It also makes self-regulation easier, as your mind isn't constantly drifting away and creating challenges for you. So throughout the day, just notice how often your mind is in the past or in the future or kind of drifting away from your present moment. And notice how often your mind is thinking about things other than what you're currently doing. You'll be amazed that when you do this, you'll be amazed that you get anything done, that anyone gets anything done. And this is normal for most people. But getting into the practice of doing this is really helpful. So if you think about the people that you know who regularly struggle in their life, you'll see that their ability to self-regulate is usually not that mature. Now take a moment and examine those who you know who seemingly just sail through life, through their problems with little difficulty. It seems like things just seem to go their way with much more ease. This is usually because their self-regulation skills tend to be quite high. So the ability to manage your thoughts, your emotions, your words, and your actions can't be overstated. Self-regulation is an important part of experiencing success. If you like this topic and you felt this information to be really helpful, I'd like to take a moment to invite you to join me in my brand new free online community, ProEmpowerment Online. I'm sharing valuable content in the newsfeed similar to this, but more, you'll have the ability to join in the conversation in a place where you can share freely without being judged, and in a place where we're not going to be shut down or censored. To join me in that community, it's 100% free. Just click on the ProEmpowerment Online link in the comments and description box below. So I'm curious, when it comes to losing your shit, which strategy that I've shared is going to be most helpful for you? I invite you to share that in the comments below, because I'd love to support you as you begin to take this on and move forward. And with that, I would like to thank you for joining me today. I love you for being here, and until I connect with you again for my next video, stay well, stay healthy, and stay empowered.